New tonight, we're also hearing from organizers of the protests involved in last night's confrontation. Two organizers of Expect Us spoke with our Morgan Young, and she joins us now in studio. Morgan.
Well, yes, Mike, the two organizers I spoke with have a very different view of what happened from what you just heard. In fact, they are calling the McCloskey's narrative a blatant lie. At 6 p.m., they were here holding this rally in the Central West End at the intersection of Maryland and Euclid. From there, the group marched to Mayor Krewson's home. There were two groups. They split up. Expect Us protesters took the path past the McCloskey's home, and they say what they were met with was unnecessary. They call themselves Expect Us, but Sunday night,
no one expected would take place.
We were passing houses, we passed communities before we got to theirs.
Entering a residential neighborhood through a gate they say was already open.
He was out on the balcony as we were entering the open door.
Reverend Darryl Gray says he was on the front lines and saw Mark McCloskey holding a rifle.
Then the woman came out brandishing her pistol. There was no reason whatsoever for them to be out there in an aggressive, confrontational way.
Because organizers say their mission was to get to the mayor. The McCloskey's home was just one of many they eventually passed on the way.
There was never a threat to his property. There was never a threat to his home. And had they not come out, the protesters would have continued on.
Following this incident, the couple released a statement saying they were threatened, afraid, and being antagonized by protesters.
Keep moving, y'all. Let's go.
At no time did I observe any of our people with weapons. At no time did any of our people rush. Just a blatant lie.
The statement also said the couple supports the fight for justice and civil rights in their work as attorneys.
If he had known better, then he should have done better.
What we saw there was a couple that wanted to be inserted into some drama.
As questions circulate about whether they had the right to point their weapons at protesters and whether protesters had the right to be on private property, they have a question of their own.
Is people walking down the streets enough of a reason to kill? We try to make property equal human life, and it is not the same thing.
They say these images in this situation illustrate the reason they started their movement in the first place.
This just is an example of what happens in America every day.
Now, we've shown images of that broken gate. Jenna was just standing in front of it near the McCloskey's home. There are also videos of protesters walking through an open gate and seeing McCloskey with a weapon. Protesters say even if the gate was eventually damaged, the protesters say they want people to know it was intact when the McCloskeys brought out their weapons. And the man who shared that video with us that you saw in that story says the gate was not broken when he left the protest last night.
Morgan, thanks.